Hello guys and welcome back. So in this video now we will add the action which is jump from wall. Okay, for example, if we are hanging to any of the obstacle right here, okay, or you can say this climb point, then from here we want to jump down. Okay, so first of all what we will do, we will download the animations for that action. So if you open up your browser and on the miximo.com, if you search for jump from wall, you will find this animation, okay, as you can see. So what we will do, we will simply download this animation without skin and then FBX for Unity, click download. And once you download this, I want you to download the other animation as well, which is by the name of pressed hang to crouch, or you can just search for hang to crouch as well, and you will find this animation, okay, this first one. And we will be using this animation on our climb point. So for example, if the player is on these climb points right here, then we want the player to jump to this rooftop. Okay, so for that purpose we will use this animation. Okay, so let's download this as well in the same format and skin. And once you download these animations, what I want you to do is inside the animations folder, let's drag and drop them. Okay, so I have drag and drop it. This is the first animation, I think. Let me check. Okay, nope. It is this animation pressed hang to crouch, and then the other one is by the name of jump from wall. Okay, so these two are the animation. Just simply select them, then click on rig, and as you know that we need to change it to humanoid, then copy from other avatar, and in here let's select the main mesh, click apply, then let's select the first one. Okay, so this is the animation as you can see. And if we select the other one, which is jump from wall, as you can see, this is the jump from wall. For now the animation has rotation, but we will be fixing that in a moment. First of all, select these two animation and drag and drop them inside the climbing animations, okay, because we need them right here since these are related to our climbing system. Okay, so now let's find them inside this folder where it is. Okay, this is the idle to pressed hang, this is jump from wall right here, and then we have this one right here, pressed hang to crouch. Okay, so first of all we will be adding the jump from wall action, okay, this one in which the player will jump from the wall. So what we will do with this is we want the position of this as same as the other climbing animation. So if we, for example, select this hanging idle, okay, as you can see its offset is 0.4, okay, and let's select now these two animation. If you notice that this hanging idle is a little bit down below, as you can see. Let me check it again. Okay, so the hands are right there, and this is a little bit down below, and this is a little bit up here. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to move this jump from wall a little bit down. Okay, so let me pause the video and check this offset value. Okay, let me match it with my hanging idle and then I will show you my value. Okay, so I have checked and 0.4 is a good value for my jump from wall animation. Okay, as you can see now both of these matches now. Okay, as you can see. So once you find a good value for your offset, then after that what I want you to do is to click on the animator, and we are already inside the animation, okay, climbing animation. because right here we will be adding our jump from wall animation, actually not action. Okay, so simply drag and drop it right here, and let's name this as jump from wall. Okay, like this. Okay, remove the spaces in between. And now, as you know that when the player jump from the wall, okay, we will first of all play this animation. Then after that, when the player is in the air, we will be playing the falling animation. Okay, and as you know that our falling animation is right here. Okay, which is this falling idle. So what we will do, we will make a transition from the jump from wall to the base layer, and in here we will select states and then falling idle. Okay, so now if you select the transition, you will notice that when the player jumps, as you can see, the player will then play the falling idle till that point when the player feet hits the surface. Okay, or you can say the ground. Okay, so it is looking good. So now we are ready to play this jump from wall animation. For that, first of all, in the scripts folder, first of all we need to open up the player script. Okay, then let's open up the climbing controller, and with this we need to open up the parkour controller as well. Okay, so now right here we have this if condition, okay, in which we say that if the player hanging is not true, and then we have this else if it is true. Okay, so it means that if the player is hanging, now from player hanging we want to now jump, or you can say we want to leave the hanging state. Okay, and we want to play the jump from wall animation. So right here we will do that. But first of all, let me tell you that we need to set up a button for doing that action. Okay, because for now we don't have any button. So first of all, open your project setting, then inside the input manager, what we will do now is let's just simply right click on this jump button and click on duplicate array element, and let's name this button as leave. Okay, and the positive button for this will be F. Okay, so when we press the F button, the player will leave the hanging stat. Okay, so we have a button leave now set up. Now what we can do, we can get back right here, and in here we will say if input dot get button. Okay, and that button is the leave button, and also the player is not in action. And as you know, the player in action is on our player script. Okay, let me show you right here, player in action. So at the start we need to type player script dot player in action. Okay, so if this is the case, then what we will do, we will play the jump from hang animation. Okay, so in order to play it, what we will do, we will scroll down right here. After this set hand position, what we will do, we will create a enumerator by the name of jump from wall. Okay, and in here what we will do, we will play the jump from wall animation. But the reason I have created this enumerator for this, okay, I can also simply call the jump from wall right here. But the reason I've created this enumerator is because first of all we want to play the whole animation, okay, and then after that we want to give control back to the player, okay. If you call it directly up there in the if condition, then the player will still have control while playing the animation, okay, and we actually don't want that. So right here, first of all, we will say player script dot player hanging, okay. We will set this to false first of all. Then now let's call the animation. So we will say yield return player script dot to while, no, actually not that. On our player script, if you notice, we have a function right here which is perform action, and as you know, in this we pass the animation name and all the other parameters, okay. And as you know that for the jump from wall, we just need to assign the animation name and not the other things, okay, because it is not needed in this. So what we can do, we need to make this nullable, okay, which means that if the other things are left as it is, okay, left empty, then it's okay, okay. So for the CTP, or you can say compare target parameters, what we will do, we will simply equal this to null, okay. And for the required rotation, what we will do, we can't equal this to null, so we will equal this to a new quaternion, okay. And as you know, the other are also are already equals to false and zero, okay. So we don't need to change that, okay. So now just save this right here. Now we can now call the perform action, and in here we need to pass the animation name, which is jump from wall, okay. Then when the whole animation is split, then after that what we want to do, we want to set the player control to true. So we will say player script dot player control, let's set this to true, okay. So once you do that, now let's copy this function name, move up. In here we will say start coroutine, and let's pass the jump from wall, and at the end we will simply return, because now the player is no more on the climb point, so we don't need to do this other shimmy actions, okay. After this, when the player is jumping from the wall, we need to reset the player required rotation, okay. So on the player script, after this set control, we will create another function which will be by the name of reset required rotation, and in here, as you guessed it by the name, we will now reset it. So we will say required rotation equals to transform dot rotation. Now on our climbing controller, before we give control back to the player, we need to call this function now. But I have noticed right here that we have type player control. Actually, it is set control, okay? This is the function name right here. So we need to type set control, and then we need to pass true to this as control, okay? And now before setting it true, we need to now call the function which we created to reset the required rotation. So we'll say player script reset required rotation, and that is it. Now if we save this and get back to Unity, okay, So let me focus up on the player. Here it is. We have no errors. Let's now play it. Okay, so now if we jump, okay, let's jump another one. Now if we press the F button, as you can see, it is playing the falling down animation. Okay, let's test it again. Okay, so now if we press F, as you can see, it is playing the animation perfectly fine, and also the reset required rotation method, or you can say function, is also working. Okay, as you can see. Okay, let's jump even more further. Let's jump from here, press the F button. As you can see, the player jumps perfectly fine down below. Okay, so in this way you can add the jump down parkour action. Okay, or you can say jump from wall. As you can see, it looks really good. Okay, so with this done, now in the next video we will be adding our other parkour action, which is the, where is it? Okay, this one, press hang to crouch. Okay, we will be actually, you can say, we will be moving up to the rooftop when we are on this points. Okay, so let's do that in the next video.